Hey guys, how are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin evening wrap. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we will go straight over to those charts. So yeah, for our time frame first, as you can see, we had that 4 hour 9 this morning, and we subsequently have sold off from there. We obviously lost this trend line from the potential ascending triangle. And we lost the midpoint, and then we lost the bottom point, and each of these points of failure cascaded the price action lower. So we now find ourselves basically in the middle of the middle of nowhere price wise, level wise. I mean, realistically, we've got a 4 hour 9 coming up, so that could help support the price, but will we get an acceleration into that 9 and come and tag the 11,000 area? That is obviously possible. Could we even come down and tag this trend line? I mean, that is also possible too, but that would be pretty impressive in all fairness, based on mainly based on what I'm seeing in the stock markets, and the dollar index isn't exactly going to the moon. And it does look like it could potentially start to make a move down now. So with those factors, I do struggle to see a swipe below in Bitcoin. I think we will just sort of stabilize and go back up. If we actually want to look at the daily, so we can look at the bigger picture. You can kind of see we're still just playing within this range here. I mean, there's nothing really of note with recent price action that hasn't happened previously. I mean, we had the move up to around this 12,000 level and then got rejected before. We had a move to around 12,000 here and got rejected before. We got a move up to just over 12,000 here, got rejected over time there, and then we've had a move up to 12,000 again and got rejected down again. And then similarly, I mean, that's sort of like a glass half empty way to put it. I mean, similarly, we came down to 11k here, and then we got bought back up. We came down to 11k here and got bought back up. We came down to 11k here and got bought back up. And then yeah, so are we coming down to 11k here? Are we actually? This is basically a test of the daily 200. Yeah, is that going to be a nice rally point for Bitcoin? I mean, in all fairness, like I have been saying, whilst ever we are in this zone, whilst ever we are, pretty much above 11,000, but obviously definitely above 10,600, then realistically, the larger time frame trend does still remain bullish for me, basically. So yeah, obviously taking out 10,600, then things will look bad. And then I do think taking out 11,000 now will be bad, because I think that will precipitate a move that could see us lose 10,600 basically. Because 10,600, if you kind of look on the weekly, is the more important level. This 11,000 area is not as important. Yeah, but I do think if we lose that, we will come down pretty hard, because that has significance, obviously, with the price action in this area, in this time frame here. That could really drive us below. And would it just sort of be a wick below and get bought back up on like a daily? Maybe, but I don't particularly want to have to find out. I'd rather we just basically turned around and went back up now, as I'm sure a lot of you guys would also. I mean, but like I have been saying, we are in this 11,000 to 12,000 roughly range, and all these sorts of shenanigans are just here to just play games with people, liquidate people, suck people into longs, suck people into shorts, and that's just the name of the game for some of the people that have an ability to drive these markets. So yeah, like I said, I mean, we're just in the range. We'll have a look at the stochastics anyway, because they're obviously going to be under a bit of pressure based on obviously the price action. I mean, 4 hour got jammed all the way up there, and then there we go, we came down and then down. So yeah, I mean, they've not got too far to run, but clearly this price action at the top side shows you that they can stay down here for a while. So if we do keep price action down here or drift lower, maybe even to the downside of the descending trend line, then yeah, I mean, that obviously that 4 hour will stay pretty weak. 10 hours obviously clearly changed down, as turned down. That's it, turned down. 10 hours clearly turned down, making progress to the downside. 12 hour has turned down as well, and 12 hours the important one. 12 hour turning up here obviously was good for price. 12 hour turning down now, probably not so good. Daily still pointing up though. The daily's out there on a limb, but well, how long can it stay there if we stay where we are? 2 day clearly moving down, 3 days still moving down. Obviously 5 day and weekly turned back over. Weekly has turned back over, so that is clearly not a good indicator. The monthly I'll show you though has moved above this point now. Well, the blue line has at least, and the red line looking to move above. So you could see that as basically buying the breakout on this monthly stochastic. So that longer term still looks good. 2 week, I mean, can stay up here for a while if it wants to. Weekly though is obviously, we did have a big discussion about the weekly when we had this move down here, but obviously we want to see the move down first before we then start to worry about that 40% drop. But bear in mind, it is possible, the 40% drop based on the weekly Stokes turning down. I was talking about in our chat today, this is kind of what I think is playing out here. If we look at this on a weekly, zoom out a little bit, look at our little range we've got going on here. So this is what I kind of see on the weekly time frame. I see this weekly 9 in much the same way we've got the bi-weekly 9 in much the same way we've got a bi-weekly 9 here. Do I think we are going to reverse and come all the way down? I mean, we went from bi-weekly 9 to bi-weekly 9 buy here, but are we going to do that, come all the way down? I don't think so. I think we're just going to play some sideways of what could be a 1 to 4 candle correction. So a 1 to 4 bi-weekly candle correction, but it could just be sideways price action, volatile sideways price action, which so far this next candle, that's exactly what it is. It is sideways volatile price action. So yeah, we could get this for another 3 candles possibly. And looking at this time frame, as long as we are above, as you can see, this 10,600, and we're playing out in this range, basically everything's fine. Everything is fine for the macro on this, well, on the bi-weekly. Basically this larger time frame, it still looks good. Consolidating above here, I mean, look, this is obviously important horizontal we've got drawn in 10,600 area. Holding this, breaking through it is obviously impressive. Back testing it and then finding a support would clearly be good and would signal upside. So obviously that's probably not what we don't want to test that hypothesis if we don't have to with the back testing. We do kind of want to turn around, but yeah, if we do that, it will still look fine. And this is where I'm getting from. 10,600 is the level. If we lose that, then yeah, then we've got to seriously reconsider this whole bull run. Yeah, I mean, we have just done the dollar. We've looked at the dollar, but yeah, the dollar does turn around here. If this is just a correction in the dollar, if this is just a new lower high in the dollar after having a lower low, I mean, what comes next? Trend is your friend, lower low, and that would definitely help us out. So yeah, all in all, guys, all in all, I would just look at these larger time frames, even the daily, and just kind of see, we're just playing in a range here. We're just playing in a range. I think I'm gonna have to I can finally get rid of this trend line now. So yeah, we moved it. I don't like diagonals. I don't particularly like trend lines so much, but I will draw them in because they do work sometimes. But obviously once they are fully invalidated, we will delete them. So yeah, descending broadening wedge here. I mean, in all fairness, we broke out and we did reach the target. Well, the target, if you want to kind of look at well, yeah, if you look at the target from the well, say breakout about here, it's obviously not a 40% move up, but we were looking on this is obviously a smaller time frame than a weekly, sorry. But yeah, I mean, we did have I just moved that? Have I just done something? Oh yeah, there we go. So we'll go back and delete that line. Yeah, so yeah, I mean we did have a breakout, yeah, and then obviously met a target and a resistance level, and then got rejected straight back down. And this is true Bitcoin price action. This is what we come accustomed to in this market. We know how it rolls. We know how Bitcoin rolls when basically it's just trying to do its best to basically sucker people into positions that probably aren't the optimal positions for them to be in. So yeah, to put that statement diplomatically. Let's have a look at that SPX. Look at it go, guys. Look at it go. Yeah, just that's what happens. You consolidate at a high, low vol, and then yeah, if you just to break out, then you've obviously got a lot of expansion, and then that is what we've got, expansion here. 1-9 there, didn't reach a 9 here, another 9 here, blasting through the 999. The third 9 would be the one that I'd look out for. This is clearly only a 4-hour time frame. What have we got on the daily? We've had the daily 9 blasted through, so but yeah, realistically 1-9 here, 2 9s here. The third 9 would be the one I would be looking at for some move of some significance, obviously in the context of a bull trend. Again, same here, 1-9, 2-9, and yeah, maybe we'll get another one. I mean, maybe we'll turn down here, but I'm not so sure that will be the case. Yeah, so again here you can kind of see this 9 obviously did give us a good reaction. Well, we've got 1-9 and working on the second here, but yeah, so I would be looking for at some point in the next week or two a potentially more significant pullback in the stock markets. But by significant, I am sort of only talking like sort of this sort of move. I'm not talking wait, here we go. I'm not talking this sort of move, guys. I'm just talking about something like this, some sideways consolidation before maybe we break back up again. Who knows? How is that XLF doing? Coming to crunch time here soon. On a daily 9 tomorrow as well. So that may not be a daily 9 sell, no less. So that may not be too great for them, but we will have to see. And let's have a look finally at silver. So yeah, I mean silver's had a down day, but yeah, realistically it's not looking too bad. Held the daily 21. It's got to hold this level to push on up, and then yeah, we will see that $30 silver. Fingers crossed. So yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. I mean, we are getting to a level we need to pay a lot of attention to. I mean, 11,000 isn't the end of the world if we break it, but I feel like breaking out of this range could accelerate us potentially through this level, and this level is very significant. So we don't want that, guys. We don't want that. We basically want the dollar back down. Stock markets are flying anyway, and then yeah, Bitcoin can get some nice upward movement, and yeah, I don't see any reason why that can't happen. And to be honest, I would probably say it is on the most likely scenario on the balance of probabilities. Let's just get that the dollar index out again. Yeah, as you can see here on the daily, is this just going to be another little failed rally and then an absolute capitulation? I would guess so. You could look at this two ways. You could look at this as obviously, well, you could look at it as a bear flag, and the secondly, you could look at it as a very aggressively selling bear flag, because we, even in the bear flag, we're not like price isn't moving up. It is moving down basically with a low, a high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, and potentially a lower high. I mean, realistically, we could be looking at a we had sideways and then bang down, sideways and then bang down. We could be looking at another bang down, to use a technical term. So yeah, got to keep our eyes on this. Got to keep our eyes on the ball here. but I would err on the side of we will be okay, and I make that assumption based on stock market still very strong and the dollar looking like it is going to take another leg down. Nothing is telling me at the moment it's reversing its downtrend. So yeah, that is it, guys. Remember, go over to the website tradingwithdan.com. Join the mailing list because there are going to be good things coming on the mailing list, guys. So right, there we go, guys. Thanks for listening. Again, not financial advice. Always do your own research, and I will speak to you guys in the morning.